Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news in the world of the NFL. Things are always evolving, and right now, there's a seismic shift potentially brewing in the NFC East, something that could very well reshape the landscape for the Washington Commanders. Rumors are swirling about a possible blockbuster trade involving one of the league's most promising offensive linemen, Penei Sewell from the Detroit Lions, heading to Washington. It's early days, but the whispers are getting louder, and the implications are enormous. If these rumors turn out to be true, it could be just what the Commanders need to elevate their Super Bowl chances, especially considering the current state of their offensive line. Now, let's dive into what's fueling this speculation. According to NFL insiders and sources close to the league, Washington is reportedly considering offering a first-round pick in the 2026 draft and a third-round pick in 2027 in exchange for Sewell. The Lions, who are in a bit of a cap crunch and looking to stay competitive in a tight window, are said to be open to such a deal to free up some cap space and focus on extending key players like Jared Goff and their skill position stars. Detroit, currently 2-0 with a manageable $22 million in cap space, is weighing the trade-off. Do they hold onto Sewell and risk losing him for nothing, or do they go for the rebuild and focus on younger, cheaper options on the offensive line? The source claims that it's almost inevitable, but no official confirmation has been made yet. Still, the buzz is real, and the potential impact on both teams could be massive. Let's talk about Sewell himself, because he's not just any offensive lineman, he's a game changer. Drafted in 2021, Sewell quickly made a name for himself as one of the most dominant young tackles in the league. His PFF overall grade is a staggering 92.5, which puts him in elite company. His ability to defend the quarterback is exceptional, allowing only 4% pressure, which is outstanding in today's NFL. He's a mauler in the run game, winning 85% of his blocks, and in 2025, until September 15th, he's allowed 0 sacks, with a pass block efficiency of 78% and a positive EPA per block of plus 0.28. His pancake blocks and clean penalty sheet only reinforce his reputation as a cornerstone. Even after suffering a shoulder injury in 2024 that limited him to roughly 90% of snaps, Sewell has shown resilience and elite athleticism, measuring 6'5", 335 pounds, with a 5.9-second 40-yard dash. This kind of athletic profile reminds many fans of Trent Williams, one of the best tackles in franchise history, and it's easy to see Sewell as a future perennial Pro Bowler. So why would the Lions be willing to move such a valuable asset? Well, Detroit's situation is unique. They're currently 2-0, sitting comfortably with a $22 million cap space, but they have some important extensions pending, particularly for Goff, who's earning $45 million a year along with other skill players. A trade that frees up around $18 million in cap space could accelerate their youth movement on the offensive line, especially targeting younger players who might develop faster and cost less. They also risk losing Sewell in free agency if they don't act soon, and with a run game averaging 145 yards per game, losing Sewell's run-blocking prowess could impact their offensive output. But Detroit's management might see this trade as a necessary move to balance their roster and cap sheet, even if it means parting ways with a player of Sewell's caliber. On the flip side, for Washington, the potential acquisition of Sewell could be transformative. The Commanders are currently sitting at 1-1, with $25 million in cap space available. Adding Sewell would be like plugging a leak in a dam. Suddenly, their offensive line becomes a fortress, and this has huge implications for quarterback Sam Howell and the entire offense. Sewell's presence would significantly cut down sacks. He's allowed only 5 team sacks so far, reducing them by roughly 25%. This would give Howell more time in the pocket, allowing him to read the field better and make more accurate throws. His yards per attempt could see a jump of +1, 2, and the run game could become more dynamic with Sewell opening up lanes for the running backs. Moreover, Sewell's impact isn't limited to just protecting the quarterback. His ability to anchor the line, open holes for the rushing attack, and provide stability in pass protection would elevate Washington's offensive efficiency by at least 15%. This isn't just about one player. It's about creating a trench dominance that can control the game's tempo and wear down opposing defenses. Historically, when teams like the Houston Texans traded for Laremy Tunsil in 2019, it immediately boosted their protection and run game, leading to a stronger overall offense. Similar logic applies here. Adding Sewell could turn the Commanders into a more balanced, explosive team. Looking ahead, the Super Bowl odds reflect the potential shift this move could bring. Currently, Washington's odds to win the Super Bowl are at plus 12-0, but a move for Sewell could boost those odds significantly, possibly to plus 4-0. It's a bold move, but one that could pay off big time. Sewell's presence in the trenches would be a clear X-factor in the playoffs, especially against pass rushers like Micah Parsons, who's been wreaking havoc this season. His footwork, winning 92% of his mirror drills, would help sustain drives, keep the offense on schedule, and prevent costly sacks that could swing momentum. If Washington can bolster their line with a player of Sewell's caliber, the franchise could finally realize its Super Bowl aspirations, mirroring the dominance of the Cowboys' offensive line during the 1990s, which was a key to their three-peat success. Of course, there are skeptics. Detroit might be hesitant to part ways with a player so young and talented, especially as they look to build a competitive team for the long haul. The trade-off involves giving up future assets for immediate protection and run-blocking prowess, which could be argued as risky. But if the Commanders can close the deal, it could be a game-changer, not just for this season, but for the franchise's future. A dominant offensive line, anchored by Sewell, could be the foundation for a sustained Super Bowl run, creating a legacy reminiscent of the legendary Dallas lines of the 90s. It's a bold vision, but one that makes sense given the current landscape of the league and the NFC East's competitive nature. Now, imagining Sewell in Commanders' colors, protecting Howell, opening running lanes for Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson, and anchoring a revamped offensive line, lights a fire in the hearts of fans. It's an exciting thought, one that could elevate Washington from a decent team to a true contender. The NFC is stacked with talent, but with Sewell protecting the quarterback and controlling the line of scrimmage, the Commanders could punch above their weight, challenge the top teams, and make a real run in the playoffs. The road to the Super Bowl is always tough, but if this trade happens, it could be the move that defines Washington's new era of dominance. Throughout the current season, the Commanders have shown flashes of brilliance on offense and defense, but consistency has been their Achilles heel. Fixing the offensive line has been an ongoing priority, and adding Sewell would be a statement move, signaling to the league and to their division rivals that Washington is serious about contending. With a revamped line, Howell can be more confident, and the entire offense can operate with more rhythm and efficiency. This would also take pressure off the defense, allowing them to pin their ears back and rush the passer knowing the back end is well protected. The NFC East is a brutal division, with talent across the board, but the Commanders' chances improve dramatically if they shore up their trenches with a player like Sewell. Looking at the bigger picture, this potential move could be a catalyst for the franchise's future success. Just as the Cowboys' legendary offensive line in the 90s helped them dominate the league and win 3 Super Bowls, a solid, dominant line built around Sewell could be the backbone of a new Commanders dynasty. The NFL is a trenches game, and those who control the line of scrimmage usually come out on top. If Washington can pull off this trade, it might be the beginning of a new chapter, one centered around a relentless, indomitable offensive line that can protect their quarterback, create running lanes, and dominate in the playoffs. Of course, nothing is guaranteed until the deal is done, but the signs are pointing towards a possible seismic shift. Fans are anxiously waiting, hoping that their front office recognizes the opportunity in front of them. The NFC East is competitive, but with Sewell in the fold, Washington could shift the balance of power, making every game a nightmare for opposing defenses. This move would send a clear message to the league. The Commanders are not just building for the present, they're setting the stage for a future where they're perennial contenders. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Sewell is the piece that can finally push Washington over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates. so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. The road to Super Bowl glory might just have a new, exciting chapter, and it's happening right now.